Oh yes, it just rained and it smells lovely. I forgot to explain to you guys that this is now my property in a weird turn of events. This was from the videos last year of my food plot. But yeah, this is my property now. It's 21 acres, I think, or just over 20. So we've been doing a lot of land work on this. There's been obviously a lot of debris here right now, but there was lots of junk on this property that we had hauled away and removed and thrown away. And then we've just been doing a little bit of tree work, as you can see from the brush piles and the black locust. So anyways, today it just rained. It's gonna rain a little bit more tonight. Kind of a light rain all day type of situation. So I'm going to go seed the food plot with brassicas. I'm gonna go seed that and do a little bit of work out there and do some trail camera shenanigans. Here we go. Okay, what a beautiful sight. Little weedy. This kind of sucks actually. These didn't grow into the plot until like this week actually, and it's just been bare soil for like almost 3 weeks now. But this is kind of what we're going to be messing with today. This is a new camera that I'm going to try out for the food plot. To be honest, I have not heard great things about these, but I had some gift cardage to spend at Bass Pro Shops. So I bought one of those, but today my idea for that is going to be putting it on a fence post and then actually running the scrape off of that, or a licking branch off of that, so it's right in the middle of everything. So that might be kind of cool. It might be kind of dumb, but we're gonna try it out today. So I'm gonna seed, gonna mess with the camera, and then I'm obviously going to fix that ground blind situation because the wind did not like that thing. So here's what we're working with right now. Okay, so just drug it with that drag there, but you can tell it looks quite a bit nicer. Brought some moisture up to the surface, and then also I think like genuinely helped with the weeds a little bit because it wasn't very compacted before. So those hooks pulled a lot of those weeds out, which is actually pretty sweet because I'm not a huge fan of spraying if I don't need to. So I'm going to seed this really quick. I might do a little time lapse here, but we'll see. Here we go. Okay, I also wanted to say, this is the seed I'm using this year. It's Northwood's Whitetail Food Plot seed. So that's what I'm using. It's their Sweet Feast Brassica blend. I think it's like, I don't know, I'll be using like maybe a quarter of it for this plot or something like that. I think this does a half acre or something like that. If not, I'll put it on the screen. Also, first time using an earthway spreader, so I'm sure this is just going to be an absolute mess. The settings are, I think, 1 to 1.5 for the spreader. So we're just going to run with it. Again, worst case scenario, I'll just use the other half in a week from now if nothing takes, or if I really screwed up, you know. So we're just going to go with it. Looks like the seed bed is ready to rock. I'm going to put that in, and then I'll just kind of run a time lapse here and show you the path. I'm going to go like this. If that makes sense, I'm going to go north and south, and then I'm going to go east to west to try to do like a hex pattern, if that makes any sense at all. I'm going to quit talking, and I'm going to start seeding. Okay, I got a little over, I think it's a half. I'm going to confirm and put on the screen before I go. So I got it loaded in the bag. I got the setting on 1. You keep it closed until you're ready to start cranking it, then you put it onto the bead or whatever, or the little nut that they have there for you. So that's tightened down on 1. And then once I start cranking it, I'm going to move this guy right there so you can kind of see what I'm talking about there. So you pull this over this once you're ready to start, you know, turning the handle. So also probably a good idea to make sure that that is tight on there. Okay, so I'm going to run this. Like I said, I'm going to go north to south and then east to west on my second pass. And I'm going to try to keep a close eye on how many seeds I'm using. So as you can tell, this is kind of stressing me out. So I'm going to get to it. And here you go. Okay, so you can kind of see the idea here a little bit, possibly. But it's all driven over now. I might come over it with the drag flipped over and just do like a light drag to kind of get the soil back on top of these. But everything I'm seeing, aside from where the tires didn't hit, which is only a couple rows, this looks very good, to be honest. So anyways, I'm going to get the camera in here. Like I said, it looks like it's going to rain here any minute now. So I'm trying to get out of here as quick as possible. So sorry if this video seems rushed. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with the camera. Ground blind is good. And then I'll possibly come back in here and weed whip that remaining sorghum. That just keeps wanting to show through. So I'm going to get that done and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in 1 second. Okay guys, I wanted to give you a quick follow-up to that first part of this video. It's actually a week later, and I wanted to kind of do that to show you the germination of this plot, because it actually did very well. I seeded that day that it rained, and then it didn't rain since. So I got super lucky. It was like 70 to 80 all week with not a cloud in the sky, aside from like a 30-minute shower. So this is doing really, really well. I think that kind of goes to show how important getting that seed under the soil or compressed into the soil is, instead of just broadcasting on top and hoping for the best, essentially. So did really well. You can't quite see it, but everything's about maybe a little over an inch tall right now, and doing outstanding. Very impressed with the seed. Even though some spots are drier, like pretty, dry, no moisture in the top layer, the seed is still doing really well. So we're gonna get a rain in about like an hour to 2 hours here, I think, this afternoon. So I did a little bit of overseeding in the dry spots that were just getting blasted with sun, and I don't think there was much germination there. So not a whole lot. I think there was a spot over there and then a spot like right here at my feet that I overseeded with some brassicas, and then I put some screen seed in by my ground blind, even though it's like way too late. So just gonna try that out. Again, super impressed with this, even though the weather was not on my side. It did really well. So as far as the trail camera, I don't know if you can quite see it. I did the 360 camera there. I first had it on a post, like just a fence post, like a T-post, the metal ones with a licking branch hanging off of it. And it just wasn't like the eye catcher that I was hoping for it to be. So what I did was I had a bur oak tree, essentially, that I had cut off another piece of my property, and I sunk it in the ground, and then I put the branches off at like 7 feet, so they're not meant to be a licking branch. I did put a vine off of it, but it's more so just to be an eye catcher to draw deer, hopefully to the center of the plot. Since I put that in, I will say I've had probably 5 times the amount of deer actually come to the center of the plot instead of just skirting the outside. So it's definitely working, which is why I wanted to upgrade it and actually put something in there that could kind of last a few years instead of just being like a dinky little fence post with a sapling hanging off of it. So that's pretty permanent right now. Like I said, there's a vine, if you can see it, and then obviously the branch is hanging off. It's all one piece. And then I put the 360 camera right there above antler height, just in case they do rub it, or something along those lines. So pretty much done. I wanted to kind of get some chores done in here today, because I only have a few things left to clean up essentially before season starts, because the less time I spend in here, the better, because it is August 9th today. So just about a month, I think maybe exactly a month until season starts. So kind of pushing it, but almost done. I cleared some trails yesterday right there. I just cleared it basically to the back of my property, which I think helped a lot, because as soon as I did that, there was like 2 bears that came through here. There was like a whole handful of deer and a couple bucks that came through. So again, I'm just kind of explaining what I did this week. This video kind of ended up just being a huge update video, essentially, of my chores. So food plot's done, camera's done, trails are done. I can't really think of anything else I have left to do until wait to season, but I'm sure I'll find something. So if you watched to the end, I appreciate it. And as always, thank you for watching. Goodbye.